Are you the person in your family or in your relationship that's always getting blamed for everything? It's always your fault? Well, hi, my name's Catherine, and today we are talking about that. We are looking at how more often than not it's projection, it's the other person's shadow that they're projecting onto us. Also, if we have people-pleasing tendencies, if we are too nice, we can often easily fall into that scapegoat role. And we are learning to understand that it's not our weight to carry. And we're also demanding accountability. We're going to stop absorbing the guilt. So yeah, often when people are blaming us, it's because they are not prepared to take accountability for their own life. They are not prepared to face the truth. And actually, it's a lot easier to blame everybody else for what's going wrong in their lives than it is to take accountability and see where they need to make improvements. Unfortunately, also, it's often a very narcissistic trait. This is one of the traits you will find in narcissistic people, the fact that they have to blame everyone. Everything is always someone else's fault. They couldn't do this because of that. They couldn't get there because of their family, because of their parents. They couldn't do this because of their partner and how their partner is acting, and they couldn't do this because of the colleagues, and they couldn't do that. It's constantly someone else's fault. But actually, when we don't take ownership for things in our lives, we're actually giving our power away. So when someone is blaming you, is telling you it's your fault, it's easy just to accept that, isn't it? You just become used to being the one who's always blamed for everything. And actually, also in abusive relationships, you find this happening. You made me do this. I only did this because you pushed me, you made me do this. Yeah, that it's not your fault. How people act and how people behave is completely down to them. Yeah, they might be in a situation that's challenging. They might be in a highly emotional discussion with someone, and emotions may be running really high, but they still have accountability for how they react. Yeah, it is not your fault how somebody reacts to something, because you're able to keep composed in situations. So yes, you should expect that from others. You see, people often, just as I said, they want to blame other people because the truth is too painful to face. Because once you have to look truth in the eyes, and you have to see that actually the blame doesn't lie with anyone else, it's very painful. And some people are just not able to do that. Some people are just not able to take that accountability. The truth is too painful. You can often see this happen in family units where blame shifting will be something that happens within all members of the family, and it becomes like a learnt behaviour, and therefore it's a constant back and forth of blame from one person to the other. Oh, your brother's like this because your partner wasn't good enough to do this, or your sister's like this because you didn't provide her with this or that. The parents not wanting to understand and see that their child has to take accountability for their own life. But so often the parents can blame the siblings for how another child's life is turning out, because they just don't want to face the truth. And so, yeah, whole families can throw the bat and ball of blame around. And often, if you are too nice, you can become a scapegoat in family dynamics, in friends dynamics, in relationship dynamics. You are that people pleaser. So very often you are an easy target. It's very easy to blame you because people know that you're not going to push back against it. You will just accept that blame. And so that's why when we are, in my other videos, we are really looking at people-pleasing behaviours and traits, because we want to become strong people who set boundaries, who are prepared to say, no, that's not me, yeah? So when we can set those boundaries down, we can push back and say, no, you are not putting your emotional baggage onto me. Those bags are not my bags to carry. Yeah, and that can be a really hard thing to do. But taking ownership is when you take control of, it's like taking the steering wheel, taking control of your life. Recently, I have been learning this. I have someone within my circle of close family and friends who is quite a negative person, to put it mildly. And for years, actually, their negative behaviour has had a really bad effect on me because it's been constant. And I just felt fed up. I'm quite a positive person, but I'm just constantly in contact with this negativity every single day, and it's getting me down. But when I decided to take ownership of my peace and detach from that negativity, I have started to feel so much better. Because it can be very difficult when you have negative people around you they can really drain you, and it's like they are taking from you what they lack. So your emotional strength, your compassion, your kindness, your positivity, those can all be things that they are lacking, and it's like they say, an emotional vampire. They're drawing all that from you, and you literally feel completely depleted. And this is what was happening to me for years. Now, if you have someone like that in your close circle, you can't just, as you read, they say, you read and often, and it says, you know, remove yourself from negativity and negative people. Well, that's not always possible. We can't always just remove ourselves from these people, because these people, like it or not, are permanent fixtures in our lives. So if we can take ownership of our own emotions and our own emotional regulation, if we can say, actually, I am protecting my peace, and I am not going to take your emotions. I'm not going to be the one who's going to carry your negativity anymore. And you learn to detach. You learn to become unbothered. Okay, you're probably not completely unbothered. You do care. But you come to an understanding that actually other people who have problems, it's up to them to sort them out. They might want you to sort their problems out. They might blame you and say, well, you didn't do this, or you haven't done this, and now therefore I'm feeling like this. But it's not your fault. And until that person can take ownership of their own life and accountability for their own emotions, they will never feel happy. So when we come to that understanding of that, okay, well, you know what? That's who you are. And I can't control who you are. That's up to you to do, I can't absorb all your negativity. I can't be made to feel guilty because you're not happy, because that's not my guilt to carry. I shouldn't have that weight because it's not my fault. And you might try and blame me because you think that I haven't done this or I haven't done that. But whatever I have done has never been enough. And so now I understand that I can't change you. You can only change yourself. And you are able to detach emotionally from that. Okay, you might still feel upset that this person is the way they are, but you can detach emotionally by understanding it is not down to you to carry that weight. We detach and we let go. We let go of that guilt. We let go of that blame, because it's not up to us to carry those emotions. And since I have been doing that, it has felt so much better. it has felt so, I have suddenly realized that, yeah, I will have this person in my life who will be negative, who will be blaming everyone else. But I don't have to be caught up in that chaos. And I keep my conversations and my dialogue to a minimum. Because of course, when you're talking to someone and they're constantly blaming others to your face about their life, yeah, they will be saying, oh, so-and-so's done this and so-and-so's done that and so-and-so. You can be pretty much 100% sure that when your back is turned, they will be blaming you to everyone else as well. So I have also learned that I give away nothing. And that has been incredibly helpful and freeing. And I just wanted to share that with you in case you too are in a similar predicament and you get that feeling of just being emotionally drained. So I hope very much that what I've said might help someone out there, because it's no fun. I know. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, do press that like button. Even better, please subscribe and become part of our wonderful family of supportive people on this journey to protecting our peace. And please do comment, let me know if any of what I've said resonates with you, or if you have anything you would like to add in the comments about blame shifting. Okay, we're just protecting that peace within so we can send all our love out, and I wish you a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye.